China's secret to dominate, a $13 billion underground city megaproject. China's infrastructure is renowned worldwide these days, but what about back in the 1950s? In today's video, we'll be discussing China's $13 billion underground city megaproject. China has been building infrastructure for exports since way back in the 1950s that left the technical world stunned. Believe it or not, China has already built several underground cities that other countries with fancy tech can only dream of. The Chinese subterranean city was an impressive infrastructure project that proved incredibly useful during the Cold War. China has certainly faced its fair share of challenges over the years, following Mao Zedong's proclamation of China's founding in 1949. The country found itself in conflict with several powerful nations as it sought to secure its safety and independence. Lots of people expected China to become wealthy in no time, but it's not often that a country can just bounce back and experience immediate peace following a war. Before a nation can gain power, it usually has to tackle a ton of challenges. Things got pretty dire in China after 1969, when tensions with the Soviet Union reached a boiling point. In fact, that period may have been the most perilous time for the country. One major point of contention at the time was the land boundaries of Zimbabwe Island in the Lumber River. During the 1950s, the Soviet Union was a major powerhouse, and their nuclear weapons were a major source of power. This put China in a precarious position. In order to safeguard its citizens and urban areas, Mao Zedong ordered the construction of a subterranean metropolis beneath Beijing, the country's capital city. The primary objective of the subterranean metropolis was to provide a safe haven for Beijing's inhabitants and government officials in the event of an attack. To achieve this, engineers began the project of connecting the entire city to the underground complex. Since Beijing was a prime target for attacks, the underground metropolis was designed to withstand both nuclear and biological attacks. During the construction of the city, numerous tunnels were built, and it was designed to accommodate up to 6 million people. The underground metropolis featured various facilities, such as dining areas, hospitals, clinics, schools, theaters, and factories. There were even farms to provide food. China was well prepared for any contingency, and thus numerous water sources were installed throughout the underground metropolis to help protect against potentially dangerous gases. Some of the key administrative buildings linked to the underground city were Jiannanhai, the Great Hall of the People, and various military bases. This was made possible by constructing 2,300 tunnels and ventilation systems. Moreover, the underground city was interconnected with other parts of Beijing. In the event of a nuclear attack on China, the government had a plan to send half of the population to the underground city, while the other half would go to the Western Highlands. However, the question of who built the entire underground metropolis still remains unanswered. It may come as a surprise that the underground metropolis was built by the people who lived in the city, with the assistance of over 300,000 individuals. The hardworking locals did everything in their power to safeguard their country. China enlisted engineers from the major city of Beijing to construct this massive underground city. Large parts of the city, including several neighborhoods, were manually excavated to provide the necessary building materials for the underground construction. The underground metropolis was never intended for human habitation, which is why it remains uninhabited to this day. As a result, many old buildings within the city have been demolished, much to our benefit. Despite its lack of use, there is no denying that the construction of the underground metropolis was a remarkable achievement for its time. The locals did not demolish it, but instead opted to preserve it. Officials still monitor the site periodically to ensure that it is well maintained. However, one may wonder if China has any current use for the underground city. It's interesting to note that in the year 2000, the underground metropolis was open to the public for the first time, and it quickly became a popular tourist attraction in China. However, the attraction is currently closed due to ongoing maintenance. Many people from different countries were eager to visit the site and learn more about the city's history. Indeed, the construction of the underground metropolis in Beijing is a testament to the determination and hard work of the Chinese people to protect their country and ensure its future. The scale and complexity of the project are remarkable and demonstrate the commitment of the Chinese government and citizens to infrastructure development and preparedness in the face of potential threats. The opening of the underground city to the public in 2000 is a testament to China's pride in its history and the importance of preserving it for future generations. The city serves as a symbol of China's resilience and ingenuity in the face of adversity, and a reminder of the importance of investing in infrastructure to ensure the safety and well-being of its people. In the underground city, there is a painting of Mao Zedong personally working on tunnel construction, which raises the question of how China developed such expertise in building infrastructure. In the late 1960s, a country's economic success was heavily dependent on its infrastructure, and thus it is worth pondering how China was able to excel in this area. Even powerful nations like the United States and the United Kingdom were more focused on expanding their influence beyond their borders rather than improving conditions within. It is undeniable that China has come a long way since its struggles in the past. Nowadays, China holds significant power over the global economy, with the largest market in the world. This is a far cry from its previous struggles. China's growing influence also presents a challenge to the United States. However, the question remains whether China has truly overcome its history of poverty and become the prosperous country it is today. China's focus on creating a secure environment for its own people has set it apart from other countries that prioritize global domination. The country's advanced physical infrastructure is a major factor in its success, especially considering that many other countries were struggling in the same sector during the time it was built. China's rapid development of the underground city is a testament to its dedication and efficiency in achieving its goals. China's investment in infrastructure has been immense, with the total value of these assets growing from less than $1 trillion to several trillion dollars today. This investment has been a major factor in China's economic growth and development. Unlike many other countries, China has prioritized infrastructure development and has invested heavily in building roads, buildings, and hotels, even when other countries were still building basic structures. As a result, China's infrastructure has become a key area of interest for many people. It can be observed in historical studies of Chinese psychology that the Chinese people have always been hardworking and determined, regardless of their level of knowledge. While other countries may have lacked the expertise to build functional infrastructure, the Chinese were able to accomplish this feat. The Chinese people have always been known for their diligent work ethic and motivation, which is evident in the extensive efforts they put into various projects throughout history. It's worth noting that China's success in infrastructure projects is not solely due to the hard work of its people, but also the government's strategic planning and investment. The Chinese government has consistently prioritized infrastructure development as a means to boost economic growth and improve the livelihoods of its citizens. Furthermore, while it's true that Chinese workers are often praised for their hard work, there have been concerns raised about the conditions they work in and the wages they receive. It's important to consider the social and economic factors that contribute to the success of China's infrastructure projects, rather than solely attributing it to the work ethic of the Chinese people. If these other countries were planning to attack China, it is clear from how China is now that it still wanted to keep its sovereignty. Despite facing potential threats from other countries, China has always been committed to maintaining its sovereignty and ensuring its own security. This commitment can be seen in China's investment in military and defense, as well as its efforts to establish strong trade relationships with other countries to bolster its economic power. Ultimately, China's focus on maintaining its sovereignty has played a significant role in its rise as a global superpower. China's emphasis on building infrastructure has not only made it a powerful nation, but also allowed it to maintain its sovereignty and independence in the face of potential threats. By creating a solid physical and technological foundation, China has been able to control its destiny and reduce its dependence on foreign powers. Moreover, China's focus on infrastructure has allowed it to become a leader in sustainable development. For instance, the country has made significant investments in renewable energy and is now the world's largest producer of solar panels and wind turbines. That's all. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to like and subscribe to our channel and ring the bell icon to get more videos.